Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Indices report for the European markets, and starting with the UK market, the FTSE 100, and because it's the weakest. And what I mean by that is that, well, a couple of points really. Firstly, that it's taken out this previous low here. The other markets haven't done this yet. The DAX is very close to doing this, and we're still looking at the top here as wave 3 here. This one's always been more bearish because I've always been able to count a very easy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, an A, B and C for a B wave, and 1, 2, 5 waves in here that are not complete yet for a third wave, fourth wave retesting this particular number here, and then down for wave 5 here. And I have to say I kind of like this because it fits in with the Dow Jones transports, and that's a market that I've been tracking on the US indices, and you may already know that, but that tracking that particular structure was one of the most sort of clearest, stable wave 4 structures that are used as a bit of a template for all others. But in this particular instance here, this has moved through this particular low here, and the DAX may follow as well. Some of the other markets are not near their lows like this, but looking at this one here as a bit of a template, it's possible for that to occur. So if we look at yes, okay, I'll go to the DAX first. So with the DAX here, you can see that we were looking at this as wave 4, and this is wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C, and we're tracking 5 waves in the C wave here, and we're just about completed that there. So, you know, it may just stay above that situation here, but if we get a closing price, a daily closing price on the cash market below this low here, then we would need to look at this in a different light here. We would need to, if I can move things around a little bit, we would need to look at still looking at it as a corrective pattern, but we would need to look at it like this here. So I'll just remove that there. This is a B wave here, A waves here, that's fine. We would need to put this here as the A, the B and the C wave here, very much the same as the FTSE here, and then we'd be looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 coming through here, 4 and 5 finishing here, and then working up from that point there. Okay, but let's go in and have a look at this situation here. On the 2-hour chart, we were looking at wave B going down to wave C here, and looking at this as 3 and 4 here. On the 15-minute chart, slightly different count, but much the same. So from wave 4 here, we're looking for the completion of this here, and there's a couple of different ways to count it, but yeah, I was just looking at it pretty much how it is, as you can see here, and allowing for a little 5-wave structure in here that's not complete yet into wave 3, 4 and 5 here. So we'll see. We're waiting on the US Fed's meeting, which is in well, starting basically now at 4 a.m. Australian time. So we'll see if that gives a bounce on this market. Now, the next market I want to have a look at is the Stock 50. Now, with this particular market, it has a well, let's work through the count. So in this instance, the wave 4 here is fine. The wave 1 is fine. An A and a B and 5 waves in here for the C wave, finishing in this area here. So this is a really good looking situation here for a move up here. So the DAX may finish where it is. The FTSE off doing its own thing, and the other European markets doing this particular thing here. So yeah, it's sort of finishing off much much cleaner here. So in this case here, I think even yesterday we were looking down, the same thing here, we were looking at 5 waves coming down. So we could practically be finished here now, okay? So yeah, there's a lot of markets doing a lot of different things, and we just need to obviously work through them. Yeah, so that's this market. Don't need to go into the 15-minute chart, I don't think anyway. I mean, this is what we were looking at yesterday. We're just looking at this completing off here in terms of, well, this sort of finishing here, but there can certainly be another low within here as well, but let's just see how we go. The French market, as we pointed out yesterday, we're looking at 5 waves down from wave B down to C wave here. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3, and we were in here yesterday, and we're looking for one more drop in here to the 50-60% mark. So we're getting that now. So let's see, any long trade would be on the 5,000 here. So we'll patiently wait and see in this case. Right, the AEX is holding its own quite nicely as well, but what I wanted to do today on this one is a couple of things. Is first of all have a look at an alternative wave count just on an 8-hour chart here. So from the top of wave 3 here, we'd be looking at an A and a B and a C for the A wave here, then an A and a B and a C here for the B wave. And if this made new lows, we'd need to look at this as 1 and 2 and 5 waves for the third wave. We'll see it come down a bit further here, 4 and 5 here to finish off 4 here. This would be the alternative count. The current count that we have on this at the moment, of course, this daily chart here is the same as the well, no real change here at all, and it's reasonably stable as well in all of this. So we've got the wave 1 here, an A wave, B wave, and 5 waves in here for the C wave that we've been looking through, and this is how it looks here. So counting 5 waves down to here, making a new low below here, and then working up from this point here. So we're going to work through it. So that's how that looks there. I won't go into the 15-minute chart, but I do want to bring up this chart here. This is the AEX here. There's two here. So this is the AEX 25 here, the financial side of it, not so much the all shares. So this one here tends to gap a little bit, and I just want to point out here that it's covered all of its gaps except this one down here. Now it's tried to cover this one on this move back down here. It's typical of markets to do this, but it had this gap here which it came down and covered. Couldn't quite do this one here on the day, and this gap here was covered by this one. So all the gaps tend to get covered all the time. So what we've seen even in this little ones here, these have been covered. This little gap in here just got covered on this pull down. So this one pulled down yesterday and covered this gap here. So it's kind of ready to move off at that point. And remember that it's got a gap up here as well, and probably one up here even further. So there is, yeah, it's just sort of gap trading, not a big deal, just something that I've noticed and just wanted to point out there. So that pretty much covers the European indices, and yeah, just got to be mindful as we work through, and some will do different things. Like the FTSE is the weakest, and the stock 50 and the CAC is some of the strongest, and this AEX here is kind of in the middle of them all. The DAX is sort of treading water. We'll need to see if it makes a new low on the cash market. So if we do get a closing price on the cash market on a new low for the DAX, then we need to look at that large account there. But on the DAX here, just yeah, so we want to, if we get a closing price below this low here, then we need to, that will trigger this count here. Okay, all right, cheers.